I have props. I have some devices that we use in different ways. I have one of these, I love these measuring cups where it's both for a solid, like you can put flour in here and measure how much you got, and at the same time it's a cup, so you can actually measure out, how much water, liquid, whatever. Easy, functional, practical. It measures volume, solid or liquid. My phone, besides leaping tall buildings with a single bound, these smartphones do, has a stopwatch on it, amongst other things. You can track time. You can be able to keep track, do laps, splits, you can do all of that. By the way, it also makes phone calls. Who knew? Tape measure. Caleb, come on over and help me. I always feel like, you always need to have at least one of these. Dude, go on that side of the altar and grab that. Just in case you ever wanted to know, the altar here at Cathedral is 60 inches or 5 feet. Go on that end. Over the fire. Do not. Yes, there we go. Okay. And it's 48 inches or 4 feet. So 4 feet by 5 feet. And just to make this interesting, Caleb, stand right there. Look at your mother. You are, as of this moment, straight, 55 inches, which means that in about 10 minutes you'll be taller than me. Thanks, Caleb. You can have a seat. We measure everything. Volume, time, distance. It's useful to have tools to measure. It's practical because we're using these tools, these measurements all the time to check, am I in the right place? Am I on track? Am I doing what I need to do? But how do I measure my heart? How do I measure my faith? How do I get a sense, a gauge that in here, on the inside, I'm on the right track? Jesus would say it's our capacity to love. You want the short answer? Am I going in the right direction or not? How am I loving others? To love the Lord, to love others, has 3 practical places in our world every day. What am I thinking? What am I speaking? How am I acting? Thoughts, words, and deeds. And all of them can be measured by love. You can take our thoughts, and our thoughts are private. Our thoughts are personal. Our thoughts are locked up in between that space between our ears. But if you were to take those thoughts, the thoughts that just play through our head, those thoughts that God, and just put them down on paper and then look at them. Are they loving? Are they worthy of Jesus? If I were to take those thoughts in here and put them down there, would I say, Jesus knows me. I'm not hiding, I'm not kidding, I'm not fooling him. If Jesus knows me, then maybe I got to look at these. Because he's looking at these. And do they measure with the law of love? Then I can take my speech. That's easy. Because once those words come out, I can't get them back. Can't pull them in. Once those words are said, they just keep floating out there. And the thing about words, the thing about our speech, is that it has real power. With a single word, I guarantee any one of us can lift people up. We can make someone's day by a single word of kindness. And boy, can we cut them to the quick. With a single word, we can rip somebody's heart, spit it, and roast it slowly over a fire. Single word. Our words have incredible power to make a difference, good or bad. So we just look at our words. Say, how'd I do? I call it the grandma test. If grandma walks in while I'm speaking, would I have a rolling pin to deal with or not? But finally, actions. And actions are the most concrete. It either happens or it doesn't. It either goes into place or it doesn't. It either is manifested or it's not. Our actions are the ultimate test because that's concrete. That's as concrete as we can get. That's as practical as we can get. Either we get her done or we don't. Either we manifest it or we don't. Either my life, an example of love, is lived, or it's just all a nice story. And just 10 minutes of truth are going to crush anything else to the ground, or prove it and say, yep, that's someone living the faith of Jesus by how they love. Thoughts, words, actions. Let me just put this real bluntly. This is all really easy and a lot of fun when the people we're around are nice. It's easy to love people who smile at us. It's kind of fun. It's really, it's not a lot of work. It feels kind of good to be gracious and kind and forgiving and loving and gentle and tender when the people around us reciprocate. The real test, when it's hard. And I'm not going to stand up here and say this is easy. In fact, I will say this is the real measure of our hearts. Our willingness, our openness to keep trying in what we think and what we say and what we do to live up to the command of Jesus. The command that says love is worth it because love strengthens life. Some would say love is life. That a life without love is death, because our souls shrivel up, curl up, and die. It's ugly to be with someone who has no love in their heart. It's painful. But when love enters in, things go from black and white to color. When love enters in, there's a new growth. Our hearts stretch. We become more. We become not only the better version, but the best version of ourselves. That's why the command to love is so crucial. Because love is that which gives us the opportunity, the power, and the chance to grow into the people that God calls us to be. Folks, today, we can measure what we're thinking. We can evaluate how we speak. And we can take our actions and say, is it in accord with Jesus or not? But may the measure of love inspire us to love the Lord, to love one another, and to let that love grow through us and help us. God bless you all.